Hello everyone. Today we are debating about the tragic Aman Katrus case and the different issues of ragging in educational institution. This incident led to stricter laws, but has this enough been done? So Aman's death case was not just a tragedy, it was a wake-up call for all Indians education system. Despite existing laws, ragging was normalized in different colleges and with the seniors harassing juniors in the name of tradition, but Aman's case proves that ragging isn't just a psychological harassment, it can be turned into deadly. His sacrifice pushed the government to enforce stricter anti lagging laws, but the question is, have we done enough? Is our system still failing students? So, the first point is, what is the gravity of ragging in India? So, ragging is not harmless fun, like it's an action of humiliation, often laced with verbal, physical, and even sexual abuse. In many cases, ragging has led to suicides, long term psychological trauma, and also physical injuries. According to the Supreme Court of India, ragging is a criminal offense, yet incidents continue. So, what is the impact of ragging in Aman's case? Aman was a bright medical student who was to death in 2009 by his seniors of his college under the influence of alcohol. His death sparked outrage, forcing authorities to acknowledge the gaps in anti ragging enforcement. So, the government introduces stricter measures, hotlines, monitoring bodies, and disciplinary action. Also, the UGC made it mandatory for institutions to take proactive steps against the ragging. And the third point is why there is even a need for stricter laws. So laws exist, but implementation of these laws is very weak. Some institution or colleges still turn a blind eye to protect their reputation. So should we have CCTV monitoring in hostel and ragging prone areas? Why don't we implement stronger punishment like blacklisting students from other colleges if they caught doing ragging or harassing anyone? Are university truly enforcing zero tolerance policies, or they just ticking boxes to meet compliance? What is the role of government and society in this? So education is not a place of fear. Parents send their children with trust. Why shouldn't so the trust has not been broken? A strict policy similar to workspace harassment laws should be implemented in every institution or in every college. What message we are sending if ragging cases are still ignored? So if we truly honor to Aman's memory, we need more laws just than this, and we need enforcement, strict surveillance, and immediate actions against this. Only this when we can say that his sacrifice was not in vain.
Okay, but while Aman's case was tragic and led to stricter laws, I argue that legal measures alone are not enough. Ragging still exists, especially in hostels, while monitoring is weak. Universities claim to have anti-ragging committees, but how often do students actually report incidents? Fear of retaliations often keep victims silent. We must ask, have these laws truly changed student behavior, or have they just pushed ragging into hidden corners? So some points came in the highlights as the limitations of legal measures. Law exists, but how many colleges actually enforce them strictly? Many students are afraid to report cases due to fear of isolation or revenge. Even when cases are reported, colleges often prefer to hush things up rather than take strict action. Another point came up is why ragging persists despite the law. Ragging is deeply rooted in college culture. Some seniors feel they earned their place through ragging and must continue the cycle. Hostels and informal gatherings create opportunities where laws don't easily reach. Students are unlikely to report seniors due to pressure, making the law ineffective. There are some examples of ragging still happening, that cases of ragging still merge despite legal action. For example, in 2023, a student in West Bengal attempted suicide after being mentally and physically harassed. If law was if laws were effective, why do such cases keep happening? Many universities set up committees, but they are often filled with faculty who prioritize the institution's reputation over justice for victims. So the illusion of zero tolerance come in colleges promote anti-ragging policies during admissions. What happens in reality? Are anti-ragging cells truly independent, or are they controlled by authorities unwilling to expose their own institution? Does expelling a handful of students solve the issue, or does it just force tagging into secrecy? A call for different approach. Instead of just imposing laws, we need to change the way student thinks. Institutions should not only punish but also rehabilitate offenders, educating them about the damage they cause. If we fail to address the root cause, we will ever truly ending and dragging. Laws without culture change are just empty rules. Until students themselves believe that dragging is unacceptable, legal measures will only push the problem underground.
I think both Souma and Kunal make valid points. Yes, laws have been strengthened, but Kunal is right. Ragging hasn't disappeared. The real issue is mindset. Ragging is seen as a rite of passage in many institutions. Some seniors feel it helps toughen up juniors. We need a cultural shift alongside legal measures. Colleges must educate students that ragging is not just fun, it's a bullying and it ruins lives. We should acknowledge the role of laws. Strict anti ragging laws. These laws should clearly define ragging, outlining punishing offenses. They must include stringent penalties for offenders, which includes expulsion, fines, and even criminal charges. Effective enforcement mechanisms are crucial, with clear protocol for reporting and investigations. The UGC in India, for example, has regulations on curbing the menace of ragging in higher education institutions. These regulations provide a legal backbone, but the legal system can only deter fear in the life of a student. But laws alone cannot reach every hidden space where ragging happens. There is a power of cultural mindset. Many seniors believe ragging builds bonding. But what kind of friendship is based on fear? Some victims of ragging later become perpetrators themselves, believing it is tradition. Breaking this cycle requires more than just punishment, it requires education. Institutions should encourage healthy interaction between senior and junior students. This can be achieved through mentorship programs, collaborative projects, etc. Solution for cultural shift. As I told, there should be peer support groups, anonymous reporting systems, which is completely independent. And it should, if students fear retaliation, anonymous complaints mechanism can help. Involvement of faculty and administration. As important is providing a holistic system and independent support group, we need involvement of faculty and administration also. Faculty members should not just be watchdogs, they should be mentors, actively checking on student well-being. The UGC has recently implemented the counselor kind of setup in all the colleges and universities in India, in which freshers are allotted a certain number of freshers are allotted a counselor and they report to a counselor. In the same way, freshers are under guidance of a mentor or which is from a senior batch, second year or third year, who directly reports to a counselor or teacher, so that there is accountability in senior group also for well-being of juniors. If we want to end ragging, we need both strict laws and a shift in campus culture. Without tackling the root of the problem, we will continue playing a never ending game of enforcement and evasion.
Okay, so according to you, ragging hasn't disappeared, but doesn't that mean we need even stricter enforcement? Like, look at how laws have worked in IITs and IIMs. Ragging is almost non-existent there because of the strict zero tolerance policies in IITs and IIMs. Colleges that fails to implement anti-ragging measures should face government actions. Like, if any institution is not taking that measures, and they are held to accountable, and ragging will be curbed. Why this stricter law should be made? The main reason behind making this law is ragging is minimal in top tier institution. Like, this is strict implementation, not just policies on papers. College where authorities take anti-ragging seriously sees a significant reduction in cases. In that colleges, these cases were seen very minimum. Taking the example of IMS Ames Delhi, ragging cases dropped drastically after the strict rules and strict enforcement measures had taken in the college. Second point I can say is holding institution accountable, like how different colleges must be legally liable if ragging occurs under their watch. Different colleges that fail to prevent or investigate ragging should face government action, like including fundings allowed and any type of measures if they take instead of this. So why should victims suffer while colleges or institutions protect their reputation? Counters, and I can also want to counter Kunal's argument on reporting fear. What is fear? Like fear of reporting exists because students believe college won't act, not because laws don't work. In different colleges, enforcement and strict action, if taken immediately, student will face safe coming forward. What if we introduce like some mandatory laws in the college, some anti-ragging laws that should audit in every college and every institution? We can also implement with different types of technology that can strengthen enforcement regarding ragging, like different anonymous activities that are going can be captured in online reporting portals, and this can help the students with report any type of action and without any fear. Different AI driven CCTV monitoring in hostels and different areas can also track the ragging incidents in real times. Mobile apps connected to anti ragging communities could allow the victims to report harassment instantly. This problem isn't that laws don't work. The problem is that we aren't implementing them aggressively enough. Without strong defense, with ragging will continue.
Yeah, so even with strong laws, victims don't always report. They fear being labeled as weak or facing retaliation. Plus, in many cases, hostel wardens or faculty members ignore complaints to protect the reputations of the institution. The National Anti-Ragging Helpline exists, but how many students actually use it? We need more anonymous reporting mechanism and independent student bodies to investigate cases. Like law exists, but they don't solve fear. Despite strict laws, ragging cases persist in lesser known colleges because students are afraid to speak up. Senior threaten junior with isolation or worse if they report. In many cases, faculty themselves pressure victim to stay silent to avoid bad press. So there is one example of reporting failure. In 2022, a student in a Karnataka medical college attempted suicide after repeated ragging. The administration ignored complaints until it was too late. Many students call their national anti-ragging helpline, but their cases are not followed up. The system needs stronger student-led watchdogs instead of just relying on laws. But why strict laws alone won't stop ragging? Ragging is adopted when directly bullying is punished. It moves to subtle form like mental harassment or social exclusion. Many students don't even realize that they are being ragged until it escalates. Instead of just punishment, we need safe space for student to report without fear of being ostracized. Better solution than just stricter punishment. Independent student anti-ragging bodies should investigate complaints instead of faculty lead community committees. Anonymous AI-driven reporting system where victim can submit evidence without fear. Counseling and mental health support should be provided for victims and even first-time offenders. You can't stop ragging just by punishing students. You need to change how students interact and create an environment where victims feel protected. Now, what's your point, Pranav, on that?
I completely agree with Kunal. The earlier statements what Soumya made was very generalized and it doesn't show the real picture. It was trying to project a utopian world where every anything with good laws can solve problems. But reporting mechanisms are crucial. But more than that, we need a change in perception. So senior students should be mentors, not bullies. What if we introduce mandatory anti-ragging workshop in college instead of just punishing offenders? We have seen, or in we have in India recently the rape laws have been improved, but have we seen the number of cases, increased number of cases being registered? No. Same way, we should teach students about empathy. consent, and mutual respect, prevention is better than punishment. We need to understand the root cause of this. Ragging often stems from deeply ingrained attitude related to power, hierarchy, and a distorted sense of tradition. Laws can deter actions, but can't fully eradicate these underlying beliefs. A mentality that normalizes or even glorifies humiliation and dominance fuels the cycle of ragging. The sustainability model can be very much effective in this. Legal measures are most effective when they are supported by a culture that rejects ragging. Without a change in mindset, there is a risk of ragging going underground or evolving into a more badder form of abuse, which can even lead to homicide, murder, and suicide. We should create a positive environment. True prevention involves fostering a culture of empathy, respect, and inclusivity. This, this requires a shift from mentality of seniors versus juniors to of mutual support and community. The culture of seniors dominate juniors need to end. The many students believe ragging helps toughen up juniors. This mindset must be broken. It should be it's a taboo that it toughens juniors. It can cause very serious mental issues. College should promote positive mentorship programs where senior guide juniors instead of harassing them. Workshops, sensitization programs is very much helpful. Like as we seen in previously, the polio campaign, anti-dowry campaign, which was very effective in rural areas and even in urban areas. Say similar ways, in similar manner, the anti-ragging schemes can be an anti-ragging place can be portrayed in all over universities. Instead of waiting for ragging to happen then punishing, college should hold compulsory workshops. Like it can be based on empathy, leadership, and many others. The promoting positive and senior junior bonding is very much important. Institutions can replace ragging with initiation through inclusion. We should the in junior and senior should be involved in a symbiotic relationship in which they both help each other, and in the end junior is safely settled in the college. Colleges can introduce mentorship programs as I mentioned. Why not have senior junior buddy programs where each new student is assigned a responsible senior mentor? We don't just need punishment, we need to reshape student culture with, as mentioned earlier by Soumya, like only the laws cannot, as mentioned, the with strict laws ragging will abolish. No, it will not. If ragging stops being cool and start being seen as embarrassing, it will fade out naturally.
Okay, I agree with this point. Workshops are good, but they won't stop hardcore ragging. Like there are students who rag brutally, they don't care about morals. Look at Aman's case. His seniors had a history of ragging. They have been expelled earlier. He might have been alive. We need strict laws and immediate punishment to set as an example. Suspension or even criminal prosecutions should be enforced. Like there are some raggers that are beyond reform, like you can't judge them. Not all seniors rag due to tradition, some do it for power and control they want to show. Students like Aman Skiller had violent tendency and should have been expelled long back before. If a student in cases in a physical abuse, why should they get a second chance? Why harsh punishment work? See, there are many reasons for that. First one is several punishment deterred potential offenders. Like if the colleges start expelling students for ragging, others will think twice before doing this. And this will reduce the criminal charges also. And if the criminal charges should be filed in like any serious case, then it should send a strong message for the students that are still doing this thing.
Okay, but what if harsh punishment lead to false accusations? A simple argument between seniors and juniors could be labeled as ragging. Should be punished without proper investigations. College need to ensure fairness. Expelling a student without concrete evidence could ruin their future unfairly. So there is risk of false allegations. A grudge or misunderstanding could lead to false ragging complaint. Universities must have a thorough investigate process before taking actions, and need for a balanced system that colleges should be have fact-checking committees before punishing students. Investigations should be transparent, involve both students and faculty. We must ensure justice for victim without creating a system where innocent students live in a fear of false accusations. What's the point on this, Pranav?
I see both sides now. Soumya is right. Punishment is necessary to deter serious offenders. But do you think that we can find or like that senior serious offenders come out in public? No. But and Kunal also makes a valid point. False accusations shouldn't ruin innocent students. We have seen in the past that how laws can be used for false accusations. Either it can be in dowry or in the suicide attempts or in the murder. The solution, a fair investigative process in which both the student part, college part, and also parents, or even the psychiatrist or the clinical psychologist can be involved to provide guidance and mentorship. Colleges should set up independent anti-ragging committees with student and faculty representation, which ensure transparency. This creating impartial anti-ragging committees should have that independence and the election system so that it's completely independent and this ensures that evidence-based investigation should be there before announcing the final punishment which involved expelling the students. If we combine strict laws with fair trials and cultural change, we can create a truly ragging free environment.
Okay, I totally agreed with your point, but Aman's case was a heartbreaking reminder that ragging is not a joke, it kills. We must push stricter enforcement, stronger punishments, and ensure institutions and colleges to take responsibility. Like, if any colleges fear government action, they will implement real change. That's all. And the thing is, why we are taking this stronger enforcement, why is it really matters. So like ragging has taken too many lives, and Aman case wasn't an isolated incident. Even today many cases go unreported and some of the students suffer in silence. We need to stop treating ragging as an initiation ritual, like it is a bullying harassment, and in some cases it causes criminal assault. Different types of examples of strict policies that work in different types of institutions. First one is, we can say, the laws in IITs, IIMs, and AIMS. They force strict rules, and ragging there is very minimal. Like these colleges have introduced zero tolerance policies with the students and with strong punishments that has been seen with significant drops in ragging cases. Like if any group or if anyone in this college trying to do rag to students, they can eliminate ragging, and why not should they? Third point is, why holding institution accountable. Like different colleges that fail to prevent ragging should face consequences. Like they should include fines or loss of accreditation if they are afraid of government actions by if government taking action against them. So they should will take student safety seriously. They should call to action. Like they should must push for mandatory audits, anonymous reporting system, and stronger anti-ragging policy across their whole college. These laws can make enforce without expectations, ensuring the students that they go through what Aman they should not go through what Aman has suffered. Different colleges should not just react after tragedies happen, but they should proactively prevent ragging before it claims another life. We owe it to Aman and countless other victims to ensure that ragging is eradicated, not just reduced. And for that, we need stricter laws, immediate action, and fearless enforcement.
Okay, Soumya, but laws are necessary, but unless we create an environment where victims feel safe reporting ragging, nothing will change. More awareness, anonymous reporting system, and institutional accountability are required. The fear of speaking up, many victims of ragging don't report incident because they fear retaliation. In some cases, faculty or administration ignore complaints to avoid damaging their college reputations. Without a safe and dynamic system, victim will continue to suffer in silence. While laws alone are not enough because despite strict laws, ragging hasn't fully disappeared. Why? Because that problem isn't just about punishment, it's about prevention. If victim feels unsafe to report or if college cover up cases, no law can fix the problem. Solution for a safe campus could be anonymous online reporting platform that mentioned earlier, uh, and it can be counseling and mental health support for both victim and accused student should be provided. And another is student-led anti-ragging bodies should be given more power instead of only relying on faculty committees. The role of peer support, we must change the culture in college where speaking up is seen as bravery, not weakness. Senior students should encourage to act as a mentor instead of tormentors. Instead of simply punishing ragging, we should reward colleges that create safe, inclusive environment or a legal system without trust is ineffective. If we want real change, we must build a culture where students feel safe coming forward. Only then we can truly stop ragging.
But according to me, ragging isn't just a legal issue, it's a social one. Laws will help, but changing mindsets is crucial. Let's ensure that instead of fear, there is mutual respect between seniors and juniors. Only then can we truly honor Aman Kachru's legacy. We should take example from Vedas in where there was universities like Nalanda and Takshila where there was a holistic system which there was a mutual respect between seniors and juniors which involves just education and learning. The problem of tradition. Many colleges still treat ragging as a rite of passage, making it hard to eliminate. Some seniors believe ragging toughens up juniors. This mentality must change. Unless seniors understand the damaging ragging causes, it will continue despite legal threats. Instead of using punishments alone, we must educate our students. Colleges should introduce compulsory anti ragging workshops, introducing orientation programs where freshers are welcome, not hazed. This ensures student led initiative that fosters safe and friendly interaction between seniors and juniors. The counseling and emotional support is very much important. It's not just for victims and but also for offenders to guide them, to educate them. Let's end ragging not just through laws but through education, awareness and respect. Every college should make it clear that ragging is not just against rule, it's against basic human decency. We must break the cycle. If we truly want to stop ragging, we need more than just fear of punishment. We need a fundamental change in how students treat each other. That is the only way to build a safer future for everyone. With this, we close our statements. Thank you.
So, throughout this debate, we have heard strong arguments from all sides. We all agree that ragging is a dangerous practice that must be stopped, but the approach to solving it where opinions differ. Some may strongly argue for strict legal enforcement and institutional accountability, ensuring that ragging is made with harsh punishment. Where I believe that laws alone wouldn't work unless victims feel safe reporting incidents, punishing for better support system and awareness. Meanwhile, Pranav emphasized that true change will only happen when mindsets shift, making ragging socially unacceptable and fostering mutual respect between students. So, at the end of the day, the solution is not just one approach, but a combination of strict enforcement, safe reporting mechanism, and a fundamental shift in student culture. Aman tragic death shouldn't be in vain. It it is up to us, student, teachers, and policymakers, to ensure that our institutions are truly safe, inclusive, and free from fear.
Okay, so throughout this discussion, we have explored different perspectives on tackling ragging. That concludes our debate on Aman Kachu's case. It is clear that while laws have improved, challenges remain. Striking a balance between strict enforcement, victim support, and culture change is a key. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.